For 31 years, it's been me, my husband, and these people, the Omegas. Oh my God. Oh my. People, listen, I'm going to tell you a story about my husband and the Cube. He likes this organization so much that he has jerseys, he has shirts, he has hats. He has hats, and people even buy him towels. But I want to share a story with you today about one word that can make or break a marriage. Picture it. It was 1988. Boy sees girl, introduces himself, and 1 year later, they are walking down the aisle, hand in hand, saying I do in front of their pastor and a host of other witnesses. Today, I want to talk to you about compromise. What exactly is compromise? And how can it possibly make or break a marriage? I would like to start our conversation out today sharing a story with you, something that happened a while back. Now, my husband and I, we go out quite often. As a matter of fact, most Fridays we are spending time together, and we consider this our date night. So this particular time we were going out, and we were going to a very fancy restaurant. We weren't celebrating anything in particular. It was just a very fancy restaurant, and I had dressed up, and I wanted him to dress up. And so now I've gotten all dialed up for our festivities, for our date night festivities. And lo and behold, this man walks out of the room wearing a shirt with the Omega Sci-Fi emblem on it. And I just got irritated. I was irritated because after all these years of marriage, I'm like, man, you have so many clothes. Will you please go and put something else on? So, of course, at first, he didn't want to put on anything else. He's like, this shirt has a collar and it looks nice with what I have on, blah, blah, blah. But in my mind, you remember how Charlie Brown, his grandmother sounded on the phone, wah, wah, wah. That's all I could hear because I did not want him to go out with me with this shirt on, even though, yes, it was a nicely pressed shirt. He looked great in it. Our special time without the Omega brethren. Well, at least that's how I felt. Yes, and I want you to just imagine, what do you think happened? You guessed it right. He went and put on something different. He changed his shirt to please his wife. No, to somebody out there, that does not seem like a big deal. But guess what? It is. See, that brings me to our discussion today and what I'd like to talk with you about. Compromise. Compromise can make or break a marriage. I know firsthand. I used to be very stubborn. Compromise is a vital key in sustaining any marriage. I used to be very stubborn, and I mean stubborn. I used to always think it was supposed to go my way. until I learned just how important compromising is when it comes to marriage. There are 3 things that compromising teaches us in marriage. 1, it teaches us the value of teamwork. In a healthy marriage, it's all about teamwork. There is no I in team. It's not me, it's we and us. So the fact that my husband thought enough of me to go and take off his beloved Omega shirt meant that he understood the value of being a team player. And he has consistently showed that to me over and over again. So the first thing compromise teaches us is the value of being a team player. Second thing that compromise teaches us in marriage is about being flexible. In order to have a loving and lasting marriage, you've got to learn how to be flexible. And compromising teaches you how to bend, not bend over backwards, but to bend. See, he was able to bend because he took off that shirt because he understood how important the date night to me is. And I did not want to look over at that shirt and be reminded of his Omega sci-fi status. Now, I know to somebody, you don't understand this, what I'm saying, but I want you to understand the value and the importance of compromise. So, he was flexible. He probably had put so much thought into choosing that particular shirt because my husband is he's a very neat dressing man, and he does not just up and throw on clothes. He puts thought into what he does, and so I know he thought about that shirt. And then with him showing me how flexible he can be by taking it off, he showed me that how much he really loves me and appreciates me, and that the Omegas do not mean more to him than my happiness. So compromise teaches us the value of teamwork first, and then secondly, how to be flexible. Another thing compromise teaches us is sacrifice. Yes, sacrifice. Do you know in marriage how many people do not sacrifice for the person they say they love? For 31 years, he and I have been sacrificing our time. We've been sacrificing our gifts. We've been sacrificing for one another, for the greater good of the team. We have been sacrificing. John 3:16 says, "For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believes in him should not perish but have everlasting life." That's what sacrifice looks like. It's love. Sacrifice is love. My husband sacrificed for me and our children. He has intentionally put us first and sacrifice for the team. Sacrifice, being flexible with your time. I remember when we were first married and my daughter came along, I gave birth to my daughter. My husband, it was like the Omegas were his family because they were his family before I came along. And he didn't know how to separate himself from the fraternity. And And after time, he learned. He learned that his wife and child came first. He learned sacrifice. So I love the Omega men. There are no men anywhere on this earth like an Omega sci-fi man. And I love my Omega man. Compromise taught him how to sacrifice. Compromise taught me how to stop wanting to have it my way. Because I learned that marriage is not like Burger King. I cannot go into, like you can go into Burger King and you can order your Whopper however you want. That's not marriage. That is not a healthy or ideal marriage. I had to learn how to sacrifice of myself for the greater good of the team. I had to learn how to be flexible. And compromising is what taught us all of these precious things that now, after 31 years, I'm here able to tell you. Compromise, it makes or breaks a marriage. Because there are people who feel that they don't need to compromise. There are some men and some women too who feel like it's my way or the highway. But that is not how a loving and lasting marriage is sustained. There is no one person in the marriage is always right. My husband wasn't always right. I wasn't always right. I learned how to sacrifice. He learned how to sacrifice for the team. And here we are today. So, yes, I have been with my Omega man 31 years. And I'm not tired. I thank God for this valuable gift called marriage. I thank God that I learned early on how important compromise is in maintaining and sustaining a great marriage. I can show you better than I can tell you what compromise looks like. Compromise looks like me leaving beautiful, warm Georgia, going to Chicago in a midwinter night and celebrating the fraternity's 50th anniversary on this cold, cold night. That's what sacrifice means. It's doing it for the team, you and me. Compromise. If you want your marriage to last, if you want the love to be there forever, you got to learn how to compromise. Remember, there's no I in team. It's us, it's we. It's not about me. It's us and we, never about me. So, as I bring our conversation to an end, I want you to remember that compromise teaches us 3 valuable things in marriage. It teaches us the importance of teamwork. It teaches us the value of sacrifice. And it teaches us how to be flexible. Flexible with our time, flexible with our talents, and flexible with the ties that we give one another. Oh my God, that's a whole nother video. But yes, compromise teaches us the value of teamwork. It teaches us how to be flexible, and it teaches us the importance of sacrifice. My husband has been dying for me for the last 31 years. It is not about me. It's not about him. It's about us. Marriage is compromise. I want the best for him, and he desires the best for me. We've proven this to one another down through the years. And so, yes, the Omegas, they've been a part of this union, and I appreciate them to the fullest. I love you. Thank you for watching. Until next time, take care.